I didn't think I could move like that.
Your spine hasn't forgotten, it's just waiting to be awakened.
My life is getting worse, but thankfully I discovered this exercise. I am Dr. Noah Jupe, a London-based physiotherapist who has spent more than 20 years helping men and women over 50 regain mobility, strength, and confidence in their movements. I have met hundreds of patients, each with a unique story, but most of them share the same fear, the fear of losing the ability to do the simplest things. Bend down, to tie your shoes, get up from a chair, or simply walk around the house without pain. I always tell my patients, there is no better morning than one in which you wake up your spine. And that is why I always start with the first exercise, cat-cow, also known as cat-cow. It sounds simple, but this is the exercise that helps your spine work like a well-oiled hinge after years of silence. I remember the first day I taught, Mr. William, a former high school teacher, now 71, he said that every morning when he got out of bed, his back was so stiff that he had to sit in a chair for several minutes before he could stand up straight. I spread out a mat and showed him how to kneel, with his hands directly under his shoulders, his knees shoulder-width apart from his hips. I said slowly, now take a deep breath, arch your back slightly, lift your chin, and look forward. That's cow. Then exhale, round your back, lower your head, and imagine a cat stretching in the morning sun. That's cat. After the first few beats, he laughed.
I didn't think I could move like that.
Your spine hasn't forgotten, it's just waiting to be awakened.
This exercise is simple but powerful. As you arch and round your back, each vertebra is activated, the ligaments and muscles around your spine are stretched, and synovial fluid begins to circulate again. This is the natural lubrication that keeps your back supple and flexible. In addition, the rhythmic movement with your breath helps reduce pressure on the nerves and improves blood flow to the brain, something that many people over 60 overlook but is very important. Just 1 minute every morning with cat-cow, you can significantly reduce back stiffness and improve posture. I often tell my patients, if you can bend down every morning to tie your shoes without pain, you have won the day. This div and the agility weapon. Once the back has been softened, we need to awaken the body's second heart, that is, calf. And the second exercise, calf raise, is the key to that. The calf muscles not only help you walk, run, or stand, but also act as a natural pump, pushing blood from the feet back to the heart. But when you sit a lot or move little, this muscle weakens. Blood circulation slows down, making the legs swell, heavy and tired easily. I still remember Mr. Thomas, 69, who said his feet swelled so much at night that he had to prop them up on a chair to sleep. I had him stand up straight, holding onto the back of the chair for balance. Now take a deep breath, I said, and lift your heels as high as you can, feeling the muscles stretch from your ankles up to your knees. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower them slowly. He did it a few times, then exclaimed in surprise, I feel like the blood is flowing back up. I laughed. Exactly, you just turned on the switch for your second heart. Post-calf raise should be done 2 to 15 times per side, split into 2 to 3 sets. When you raise your heels, you're activating dozens of small muscles around your ankles, the same muscles that help you maintain balance and react when you accidentally trip. That's why this exercise helps reduce the risk of falls by up to 30% in the elderly. Additionally, keeping your leg muscles active helps reduce varicose veins and improves oxygen circulation throughout your body. I often add a little tip. Once you get used to it, try lifting 1 foot off the ground and doing the move on one leg only. By doing this, you are forcing your body to adjust its center of gravity, activating the hips and lower back important areas for balance. After 2 weeks, Mr. Thomas came back, smiled, and said, my legs don't feel as heavy as before. Every morning I go for a walk without stopping to rest. Hearing that, I knew that this little exercise had really made a big difference. The first 2 exercises, cat-cow and calf raise, are the beginning of a whole body recovery process. One helps the spine to be flexible, the other to bring vitality back to the legs. When we keep the back and legs awake, the body begins to function more smoothly. And in the next section, I will guide the next 2 exercises movements that open the hips, relax the body, and bring a sense of freedom to each breath. If you find this topic useful, please follow, leave comments, and subscribe to the channel so I can continue to send you more detailed instructions. And if you want to get live video tutorials on these 5 static stretches, leave comment number 1. Okay, once the spine and legs have been awakened, I often tell my patients, now it's time to open the central door of the body, the hip joint. The hip is the hinge between the upper and lower body, the place where most of the load is carried in every movement. When the hips are tight or weak, you are more likely to lose your balance. Your lower back will be under more pressure, and every step will be difficult. That's why I always recommend the third exercise, butterfly stretch. Simple stretching exercises that have a profound effect on overall body flexibility. I remember Mrs. Margaret, a 66-year-old woman who had worked as a librarian for 30 years, said that after sitting for long periods of time, her hips felt locked, and every time she stood up or bent down, she felt stuck. I showed her how to sit on the carpet, the soles of her feet touching, her hands lightly holding her ankles. Now take a deep breath, I said, and as you exhale, let your knees slowly come down, gently, without pushing too hard. Imagine your hips opening like a butterfly. It's not mean isomestered. After about 30 seconds, she whispered, I feel a stretch in my inner thigh. I nodded. Yes, those are the adductor muscles, the group of muscles that most older people neglect. These are the muscles that stabilize the hip joint and keep the gait steady. When they become tight and weak, the body loses control of the direction of movement, increasing the risk of falling. Butterfly stretch. This exercise helps open the hips, stretch the inner thighs, and reduce pressure on the knees and lower back. You just need to hold this position for 30 to 60 seconds. Breathe slowly and evenly, feeling a slight stretch. As you inhale, lift your knees slightly. As you exhale, let them drop back down. After a few days, you will notice a noticeable difference each time you stand up. Your body will feel more flexible and lighter. Once the hips are open, we move on to the fourth exercise, child's pose, also known as the child pose. This is an exercise that I jokingly call the reset button of the whole body because it helps release tension in both the muscles and nerves. I have taught Mr. George, 70 years old, a former long-haul truck driver. He said that after many years of driving, his back and shoulders always felt tight, as if someone was pulling them back. I spread out a mat, told him to kneel, knees shoulder-width apart, and then slowly bend forward, arms straight, forehead touching the floor or a soft pillow. I said, now all you have to do is breathe. Inhale deeply, feel your back stretch. Exhale, let your weight sink to the floor. After just a minute, he didn't say anything, just lay still, then let out a soft sigh. When he sat up, he said, I don't know why, but it feels like my whole body is being released. Raid not. That is the wonderful effect of child's pose. When the body is in this position, the chest opens, the spine is lengthened, and the parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for relaxation and recovery, kicks into high gear. The heart rate slows, breathing deepens, and the body enters a natural state of rest. For older adults, this exercise also helps reduces pressure on the lumbar spine, improves blood circulation in the hips and shoulders, while also reducing mental stress after a long day. Both exercises, butterfly stretch and child's pose, all have one thing in common. They teach you feel your body again. They don't require strength, but rather patience and listening. Each breath is a little dialogue between you and your body. Inhale to nourish, exhale to let go. When my patients exercise regularly, I notice something interesting. They not only move better, but they also feel better. They come into the office smiling more, saying they sleep better, have less pain, and feel at home in their own skin. To me, that's the sign of true recovery, not just of the muscles, but of the mind. I still remember Mr. Harold, a retired carpenter from Kent. When he walked into the clinic, he was slightly hunched, clutching his lower back. It's probably just old age, Doc, he said with a wry smile. But I could see fear behind that smile, fear that one day he wouldn't have the strength to get out of bed. No, Harold, I told him. It's not old age. It's your body telling you it's been too long since you've really used it. Harold's story is not uncommon. Many people think that stiffness, back pain, and weakness are just a natural part of aging. But the truth is different. Our bodies are designed to move, to twist, to reach, to adapt. When we stop moving properly, muscle fibers begin to contract, joints become less flexible, and the lubricating fluid between joints, something called synovial fluid, no longer circulates. As a result, we wake up every morning feeling like the machine has dried out, stiff, and sore. I often tell my patients, it's not age that stiffens you, it's that you stop moving properly. And the key to reversing that isn't running for hours or lifting heavy weights in the gym, but isometric stretches, gentle yet highly effective movements. They help restore joint flexibility, reactivate the nervous system, improve blood circulation, and even reduce mental stress. In my 2 decades of practice, I have seen the wonders of these stretches. Many patients walk into my office with hunchbacks, slumped shoulders, and tired faces. After a few weeks of regular practice, they walk out with a straighter posture, a spring in their step, and a confident smile. Some tell me they feel 10 years younger, not because their bodies are completely pain-free, but because they regain control. One of my patients, Evelyn, 68, once said, "I don't want to run a marathon anymore. I just want to go to the supermarket without holding onto a shopping cart." That statement has always stuck with me, because true health is not about running faster than others, but feel free in your own body. In recent years, many studies in the UK and Europe have demonstrated that simply 5 to 10 minutes each morning with static stretching exercises can improve flexibility, reduce the risk of falls, and significantly increase blood circulation in people over 60. These exercises require no equipment or large spaces, just you, a mat, and a few minutes of quiet in your living room or bedside. Today, I want to share with you 5 simple stretches that anyone over 60 should do every day before it's too late. These are exercises I've used on hundreds of patients, from people with chronic back pain to seniors who just want to walk in the park without falling. They not only help to loosen up the spine and joints, but also awaken important muscle groups to make you feel healthier, more flexible, and confident in every movement. If you're listening and noticing your body sending you warning signs, don't worry. With just a few minutes a day, you can regain the flexibility you thought you'd lost. Once the patient is comfortable with the first 4 exercises, I often say, now we're going to finish things off with a gentle but deep movement to help the body rotate back into itself. That's the final exercise, supine twist, also known as the supine twist pose. It's like the body's way of hugging itself after a long day, both to release the spine and to restore overall balance. I remember Mr. Richard, a 72-year-old former engineer, who said that every morning when he woke up, his back felt stuck somewhere. "When I lay down, I felt like my lower body and upper body were no longer connected," he said. I spread out a mat and told him to lie on his back with his arms spread out in a T shape. "Now pull your right knee up to your chest," I said softly, "and then rotate that leg to the left so that your knee touches the floor, and turn your head to the right. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth." He did it slowly. After a few seconds, I heard a small crack in my back, the familiar sound of the vertebrae loosening. He was a little surprised, but I just smiled. "Don't worry, it's your body thanking you." After holding the pose for about a minute, he switched sides, and when he sat up, he said, "I feel so much lighter, like my back has been unwound." That is the power of supine twists. When you turn your body, the muscles around your spine, especially your obliques and lower back muscles, evenly stretched, helps release pressure and increase blood circulation around the lumbar region. This exercise also activates the vagus nerve, CSS, the regulatory center of the parasympathetic nervous system, helping to reduce stress and improve digestion. Therefore, many patients after a period of practice often say they sleep deeper, have less back pain, and feel better in your stomach. If you combine all 5 exercises, cat-cow, calf raise, butterfly stretch, child's pose vs supine twist, only need about every day 10 minutes, you are creating a complete restorative movement chain. The back is softened, the legs are awakened, the hips are opened, the mind is relaxed, and the spine is balanced. Several studies in the UK show that people over 60 maintain a habit of light stretching every day. Ca 90 AN reduce the risk of falls by up to 40% and significantly improve sleep quality. One thing I have learned after more than 20 years in this profession is your body never betrays you as long as you know how to talk to it. These static stretches require no major effort, no machines, and yet bring lasting change because they heal not only the body, but the mind as well. If you're listening and you find yourself in need of a fresh start, I encourage you to take 10 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be rushed. Just be consistent. After a few weeks, you'll notice a difference: a lighter body, a steadier gait, and a calmer mind. I am Dr. Noah Jupe, and I really thank you for taking the time to follow this far. If this sharing is helpful, please follow, leave comments, and subscribe to the channel to get more detailed instructions for each exercise. And if you want me to send 10 minutes a day video for you to follow easily, leave comment number 1, okay? Thank you for coming with me. Remember, health is not about running faster than others. It's about live comfortably in your own body. Every day you spend listening to your body is a day you add a little more to your youth.